How you have seen this field evolve, particularly in Dubai and UAE?
They put a budget for 33 billion. Dubai government, they want a government entity to use AI.
So you have led like project like unified case management for the
Yeah,
Dubai Community Authority. What will result into the failure? Like if this is not done,
if they're not doing proper change management, okay, then automatic failure because the your changes will be there. Standard operating model for infrastructure. You should have a NOC, you should have a SOC, you should have that enterprise monitoring solution on your environment to cover high level monitoring for availability and performance.
thanks once again for your time. So this will, as you know, like we'll start with like the background and career growth. So I mean, you have like 2+ decades of the experience in
Yeah.
IT infrastructure, application management,
Yeah.
and then how you have seen this field evolve, because like those who are there like in the industry for the decades, when
Yeah.
you started like the couple of decades ago, I mean, how it was, and particularly in Dubai and UAE, because
Yeah.
like I mean, there is like a huge. I mean, I remember when I used to go like the early 2000. So that vivid memory of like 2000 of Dubai versus where Dubai today is. So just give your
Yeah,
background,
yeah,
like
yeah.
if
I
you
think
like
see,
on that.
this is which is even personally I also grown. Even that Dubai government also has grown. Like now Dubai, we can see that development on Dubai. This is huge change. Like before is traditional computing, like buying box, selling box, okay, putting into that picture, do that standard infrastructure buying boxes. Now which is Dubai government, they have initiated a lot like Kudjet technology mainly for cloud, which is they are moving forward. Then data analytics, which is they are taking two different methodology, I can say that, which uh, mainly for UAE, especially in Dubai, which is they form a separate cloud only for the government entities, like government organization, banking. However, they have a data piracy, which they have to keep the data in UAE. Still, for the government, they separated banking. They separated government, which they form a separate organization, which is Sheikh Mohammed initiative called Dubai Digital, where they given infrastructure as a service, application as a service for all the government employees, which they have a shared services, which employment engagement, like which employee needs, which business portfolio, which they everything shared, like starting from initiative to until closure, which that's a common platform, which is they went for Indian IoT. You can see that infrastructure changes, like you can see that even transport also they have a lot of change. They put a salic, even they put a parking. Everything is modern technology, which is they bought it. It's not like a over. I think Dubai government is more mature compared to other Gulf countries, which I can say that. Which I am also part of the team member. I can say that. Yeah.
And I think it's a really valid point, because, like as I said, like I've been visiting them like early 2000, and then I mean early 2000 versus like 2024. I
Yeah.
mean there's huge change, drastic change,
Yes.
like
Yes.
what it used to be and what it is. So I mean I think they put like the enormous efforts to reach to
Yeah.
this stage. Like
Also, I want to add one more point. Whatever the new technology coming to the market, right?
mhm.
3 years back, there was blockchain. Okay, all the KYC, which is all the, when I was in the PFSI, which I will say that KYC update, which should have the blockchain, which is they implemented all the banking sector. Okay, now which is they put a budget for 33 billion for only for AI to develop, because what the government is first they want banking mainly for private. Okay, they will do whatever technology they will do. For Dubai government, they want the government entity to use AI, which is they put a separate AI strategy for all the government in 3030 they have to achieve. They have some vision, with the mission, with they have initiative, with they have a goals, how to put the KPI, then how to monitor it, which they have a methodology based strategy for AI. which I can see that, which is because I am part of one of the government entity which I am working on Abu Dhabi. I am working on AI strategy as well as digital transformation plus application architect, which they have a clear vision on this.
And I think that's good to hear. So
Yeah.
given that, I think that the next thing is like, I mean, can you share like some your like pivotal experience? I mean, in your career, I mean, that has really helped or like significantly impacted your approach of like IT infrastructure and digital transformation. So what is that pivotal moment?
See, pivotal, which is I have done for for when I say infrastructure side, which I did the data center movement. Okay, because there's a very old methodology, which is the tier 2 data center, which we went through, because that also Dubai government, which come through Moro Hub, which they have with they tie up with digital on Do, because the Do also government entity which they want to market all the banking sector. Okay, the data center movement, which is tier 4 data center, which is there is very complex, which have a risk based transfer. Like we have to move the infrastructure, we have to move the application, we have to make sure that how the application mapping, what tools should be put, how the integration, how the IP changes, how to govern the project. You have to make sure this is the big transformation which I have done for a data center movement. Is not a easy task, which is the main thing. Plus also I have done for business continuity for the DR site, that also for mainly for infrastructure perspective. I'm saying that this is the two big initiative which I have done for my past experience, which is added my value in this banking sector.
That's good. Yeah. So like your like current role and key achievements. So like as a senior consultant for like the digital transformation, IT digital transformation. So you have led like project like unified case management for the Dubai Community Authority. Could you like walk the talk like the challenges you faced
the
and
challenges
the project
which
how
is
you overcome like
This is after my banking sector, which I moved to quantum consultant, which is my ex-boss. We started, then I engaged for uh, unified case management. This is a vision for Dubai government, right? This project is initiated by Sheikh Mohammed, where all the charity services for the for the citizens, not for our expert. Okay, the citizens which they avail the services on different entity, like if you go to Dubai, like a court, okay, the court giving some services, some free services for citizens. Okay, then they have some housing. Okay, they are also giving some free services if elderly people, the which they are poor in that market rate, they'll give a house. Okay, then they have a, if you go to healthcare entity, like like India, they have a health authority. Here they have Dubai Health Authority, where they also look at the citizen, they'll give some reasons. What is happening? Individual entity, they have a not interconnected for the government sectors, which is one of the pain point for Sheikh Mohammed, saying that people are, it's not like misusing, because they don't know. Okay, they will take a service from Dubai court, they will take some free service from health, they will take some service from police government, they will take service from, because they are taking different place. Which Sheikh Mohammed, I want a unified dashboard which everything should be interlinked. Okay, they should have a single point of contact, my citizen, to give the service, which my citizen should be happy by the government. Where this initiated, which they were stuck for this project, then we pitch into the project. We looked on this, how many governments should be integrated, what is the technology to be integrated, what is the project, what is the product should be selected, which we recommended Microsoft CRM. That also we adopted a cloud-based technology, which is Dynamics CRM, which all the integration, which is Azure WebLogic. Right now, we know that we can go through the integration with any middleware technology. Like we have WebLogic, we have a TIPCO, what are the technology which we don't want, which is Microsoft also, they well developed, which most of the organization which is approved for cloud computing, where we have do the integration on direct integration, no more API, which is developed. Then I put my finger on that. We had policy defined for all the government should be adopted as a single point of contact as a CDA, which is all the case should be logged on this. If you need any information, pull or push, which we can go through integration and technology and API through on Azure, which we integrated all 25 entities on one platform. They are happy. The project we completed on 12 months. Now, Abhishek also very happy that they are seeing the dashboard, how the people are, how many cases logged, how many cases they serviced, where is pending, which they have like a dashboard, which I think maybe automation will can help on this, which we use for Power BI, which is to have the dashboard which pull the data, which is different view for customer view separate, stakeholder view separate, like business head should be separated, which is this the transformation which I transformed from banking to government sector, which is how this need for citizens. This is a heavy project which is they are happy, everyone is happy.
Correct. And I think you use like the banking experience there, because like the bank has like the multi-channel, and then like how you can get like the single view of the customers, because customer coming through ATMs, coming through POS, IVR, internet, mobile banking, and then having that like the omni-channel kind of the experience. So I think maybe like you replicated that. I mean, that's a brilliant idea. Yeah.
Because I have experience which that's adding my value wherever for government, because the technology is same, right? Maybe they are not utilizing, which I can contribute. How to, because method is different maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I think you're like literally leveraging your experience like from the BFSI and then in your new consulting role. I mean, that's like good to hear. So on the like digital transformation and the innovation side, like you have worked extensively a digital transformation project. So what are the critical components that determines the success or the failure of such initiatives?
Yeah, it's mainly for when you go for any innovation method, we have to align with the stakeholder, right? That is the main thing, right? Should align with the stakeholder. We look on this environment, like challenges. We looked on okay, how that alignment between business and IT. We looked on this. Then is there any gap which we will identify? Then what we will do, if we have the proper change management, that is a very critical factor for that. You should have a change management should be in the place. Then technology adoption. Then operating model. This is a challenge which is we'll always try to do the innovation and transformation. Plus, we'll bring innovative ideas based on the business. Like now I given one example which I am doing for, like we have India, we have what do you call here, this called all the mosque and Islamic studies, right? That is a one government entity that's called Islamic Affair, where they will manage all the mosque, like Islamic prayer, Islamic award, charity, right? Which we have done some innovative ideas in that how to manage the crowd. Okay, there's a time for the mosque, which we can put some AI related, which is I did a case study, which I given an example, right? We can do that. Because they have different place, different from mosque. Like in our India, we have a temple, right? But we don't know how we can do the India, but we can do it. That's doable. But here is clean and neat, which I have done. Okay, what is the time of people? How is the people coming? Really, they can adopt that crowd, which we can do that. Like which I put something. Okay, how we manage? We can put a drone, which they allowed here. Look at the people, how many people are coming. Such a way that it take the data, we can give the recommendation, because AI driven is mainly for database, right? The data should be clean. Otherwise, we cannot do AI, no use of doing AI. Like the data, how the data should be fetched, then we give an idea which is they are doing for POC. This is the innovative idea which I can one example. Current market trend.
My God, and I think I heard like even like the Saudi was trying to do for the Mecca when they like there's a huge like the people coming there. So how do we manage, and then putting the cameras will have the AI, they pass on the message to like the bots, and then giving the predictive analysis of the flow coming. It's like when you do the GPS. So GPS tells you like which road has got the traffic, and then the nearest path, like and how to go kind of. So I think maybe like then the similar logic like you're trying to use there.
Yeah. This is which is we have done. Plus also that for Islamic studies also, how we can do the innovative, like we can have a digital lab for the children from people from the home, because they have to make sure that the Quran is read, because everyone study, they'll have an exam like that. That we have, that also we are looking for something else, like a digital lab for them.
So anything which you want to call it out, like I mean, what will result into the failure? Like if this is not done, then that will result into the failure. So like something which you may want to highlight, like to
Yeah,
make.
yeah, because this is this example, right? But if they're not doing proper change management, okay, then automatic failure, because the chaos changes will be there. The change management not only for technology, organization, people, and process technology. They should have the proper change management. Otherwise, they will go kiosk method. Then they'll leadership will not get a clear idea. Then the business revenue will be lost. This is changes will be there. For me, recommendation should have proper change management on across all the area, people, process, technology.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good. So how do you assess like when it is like the better to continue with the legacy project or solution versus starting new, especially when it regards to like the infrastructure and the cost? Because new things are coming up, like saying
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
on-premise,
yeah, yeah.
cloud, not. I mean, like everyone said, oh, the cloud is like the way forward. I mean, like whether to do that or go with the conventional approach of having the things like on-premises or I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
I
legacy
think
versus new. Yeah.
the question is very clear. Look at this environment. If you have a legacy, what is your ROI?
Mm,
Okay, what is the TCO on this, your investment on this, right?
mm,
If you want in, because you have to you have to do that based on ROI only. I can take it. Really, I can invest on premise, I can go for cloud. Okay, what is my investment on this? Okay, then
mm,
what is the technology I'm using for? What is my hardware footprint which I'm running at? This is legacy. If you are replaced, okay, better. You look at your 3 years projection based on your business requirement. Okay, I have, okay, what is the technology I'm going to use it? I'm going to use a legacy. I'm going to for advanced technology. I'm going to metaverse. I'm going to the monolithic. I want a service based. What is I'm going to do that? Okay, then I have to do the study. Okay, then I can take it. Even on premises nowadays no more everything virtualized, because the technology is changed over from last 10 years, 15 years. Even though if you have on premise, people are going infrastructure services, a private cloud methodology, right? But still, if you want to have more services apart from infrastructure services, which I can avail, either I can do the Azure, either I can do the AWS, because in the Middle East most of the people are going for Azure cloud, where I can directly with have my enterprise agreement, which I can look at this cost benefit, like a return of investment. Based on that, I can move my infrastructure to the cloud. Okay, not
mm,
only for infrastructure, I can application also I can move to the cloud. I can go for web service. I can take only app services. I can do the database, which I don't want to manage on premises. I don't want to put on cluster. I don't want to put big node to manage on all the database, which I can take a database as a service, which we have available services. I have to look at what is the business requirement. I can run it on premise or I can run it cloud. Then I have to take ROI comparison. Okay, on premises maybe less, or cloud is less, which I have to take. Normally, when you do the business case investment for, when you put on premise, you have to look at data center maintenance, you have to admin ask, power, cooling. This all key factor for cloud migration, which I look on this. Then I'll put a positive business case, which you can move the environment to the cloud. This is the approach which you can do that. That
And I
we
think
don't
that's
want
good.
take we don't want take everyone moving to cloud. I will move the cloud. My cost is increasing $1,000, like 100K per month. Okay, that is not going to work out. I cannot do that.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
I have to
no,
look at my business requirement also.
correct, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. So like the ROI, and then you're talking about like the
Yeah,
various
very,
other
very critical.
factors and like
ROI is a very, very
this thing.
critical factor. Actually, without
Yeah,
ROI, we
yeah,
cannot do
yeah.
core, because then CFO will come and ask, you are managing for 3 years, 3 million, but you put an environment on cloud, which is I'm paying for 6 million. Where? Why this increase? Then I either,
Mhm,
if I'm a CFO, I will be answerable for this, right?
mhm,
F&L role, okay, finance and loss, I have to be answerable, right? My cost, running cost for 3 million, why I have to pay 6 million? I be the
mhm,
answerable, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
And on this, like when it comes to the cloud, so like I mean, at times like when it comes to BFSI or typically like the financial institution, so they come up with the things like the data localization, data in transit, data security, etc. So all these things, like I believe I understand what you said, like the Azure and all these guys, the cloud providers, they have nailed it
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
have all those like the certifications. So the financial institution or the BFSI,
Yes, yes,
especially, they need not worry about their data security or data in transit, data
yes,
at
yes, yes, yes.
all that PII information, etc. Right?
Yeah, yeah, because this is based on that, because we have a policy which we have a exit clause. Also, they have a data and rest which we have the clear commitment from Microsoft, which the data is stored on only for EA data center.
Exactly. Data
Okay.
localization there.
The data center which is based on Dubai and Abu Dhabi, which the data will be, except SaaS model, that SaaS also, the Office 365 also they moved. Before the PaaS and infrastructure, they kept AE. SaaS, which they are not committed, even last September onwards, that also committed. Everything, even SaaS also, if you all your Office 365, Dynamics CRM, all the data is in here only. That is commitment from Azure. That's why all the banking sector based on central bank rule, which the data cannot go outside that EAE plus government, which is that is the data is there, which normally they are not public because most of the BFS is not directly approached on public access, which they should have a MPLS connectivity. That also the local service provider, which you are the key on this, like Etisalat, they have all the banking sector. I'm saying data secure, right? Which they we have MPLS pipe look like a branch. Okay, all the connectivity will go through MPLS only, which I cannot go from outside.
Correct,
Only
correct,
for
correct.
incoming traffic it will come from public.
No, I
That is
get
the way.
it.
Yeah, you got it right. What I'm saying. Yeah.
Correct, correct. That's good. I think they are taken care of because I think most of the time, like there is apprehension saying like, oh, cloud, then why? So, I mean, even if it may save the cost, but still people are apprehensive saying, I mean, I don't want to move because like I have no guarantee about like the data may move
Yeah.
outside the country. The respective central banks do not allow that. So all
Yes.
that
Yes.
scarcity, I mean, uh, so, I mean, you address that. So, you have
Yeah.
managed like the complex IT infrastructure, including achieving 90% servers virtualization and 40% of the workload migration to the cloud. What are the key strategies, technologies that facilitate these transformations?
Yeah, see, this is a 19 because as long as if we go for virtual environment, visualization, right? We have a like you can say that no fault tolerance. Okay, I don't want to go for old technology right now for live migration. Okay, failure which is 0.01 millisecond failure over node to node, right? That is
Mhm.
mainly advantage of virtualization. Okay, also which is we have the business critically based infrastructure.
Mhm.
I'll will classify the application based. Okay, I need a business critical means should be what is my RTO and RPO. According that you will design. Okay, you will make sure that business critical should have all on high available environment.
Mhm.
Okay, when you take on premise, then business based on the business continuity policy will
Mhm.
define. We'll make sure that then we should have a proper monitoring solution. Even though you have a redundant, you should have a proper monitoring solution, which you have proactive monitoring solution should be there, which you should have the knock. This and all standard operating model for infrastructure. You should have a knock, you should have a SOC, you should have that enterprise monitoring solution on your environment to cover high level monitoring for availability and performance. Then you should have a proper incident management process, problem management process, where you can achieve your SLA 99.9 whatever. Okay, this is on based on operating model which you can do that, which I said 40% workload which is I have done, which is business critical, which they not more on data sensitivity, which I move only presentation layer and application layer, which is 40% of workload which I moved on cloud based on business requirement, which is I said business case I put ROA and TCO. According that we moved some workload lift and shift, which not modernized, just lift and shift.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So you have excelled in managing high security incident and ensuring like minimal downtime. So
Yes.
could you provide some example like the major incident like you would have handled and the strategies that you have applied to resolve them efficiently?
Yeah. Incident is we have a proper incident process
Mhm.
across environment, which is on time to time we should have a training. What is the incident management? How to process? How to follow? Where in that case you should have what is that escalation process. Okay, if you have any failure, how you have to address it. Then also you should have a proper communication to stakeholder, like in a business team. Okay, my environment went down, how to communicate. You should have a, that also should have a proper time period. Okay, 50% time can I communicate. Okay, whom I go to? I'll communicate to CEO, then CFO, then you have a business head, GM. Okay, should have the proper definition ideal places, which is this for this is a reactive method. Okay, when it's happen, issues happen, how to update, how to resolve. This is a reactive. What is should have a proper proactive monitoring. Okay, you have a proactive monitoring, which I said enterprise monitoring solution should be there. Should have a knock always 24/7. Look at the alert, immediately give the response, which you can have, bring your service immediately. This is for incident management process. What is this latest environment which I say before I'm moving to the bank, moving out of bank, which I had a big incident, which how I restore it. Okay, what has happened that is not a proper governance. When the project completed, that should have a handover, right? Project team will be there, then the whole operation team will be there. That is the gap which I identified. The people did a project team, they did for DNS migration, they completed DNS box, done. Okay, they went off project team. Operation team, which doesn't know what is the DNS migration done and which is the primary DNS box, which we have input blocks or Active Directory. Okay, the input blocks box having my primary DNS entry for my external connectivity, which the box was migrated, but people are not removed the old box. But some of my Active Directory which pointing to old box. Okay, no one aware that. This is a big incident which all my domain went down, all my emails went down. Like most of the application which is related to communicating from external world, like for a website which is failed, which my proxy went down. What is that immediate solution? Bring the box is not working, then physical hardware, both the hardware is failure. What is the immediate solution given? Okay, we had a firewall, then I took a firewall, I created one proxy on this DNS, we immediately given the solution, we bring the service. Almost 4 hours I was down. This is a critical incident, my whole bank went down. This is on last, I think April or May, which critical incident, which what is the root cause, which project team and operation team should be aligned. This is the gap. We have to fix the gap, then the kind of incident will not happen. The project team done the job, let's go away. Operation team doesn't know what they have done, which they should be have a handover session for 15 days. This is the gap which I identified that we given as a permanent fix moving forward.
So I think there has to be like, proper handover, takeover, and then handing over that baton to like once the project is gone live, handing over it to the operational team for the post-production support.
Yes, support.
Yeah,
this should be there. This is called operational handover document, operational handover process, which should be there, because most of the organization, not only banking, any industries goes, there is a separate team will be there. There should be handshake should be there.
Exactly.
Without handshake, nothing will happen, because
and then there has to be like some overlap, as you said, 2 weeks and all. So we also do the same thing, like 2 weeks of like that handover takeover, because otherwise like suddenly like you switch off one day, another team is on, they will have no clue about what's happening. So how do you ensure like the continuous improvement, compliance in incident, problem, change management process? Like how do you keep that?
See, this is based on governance model. Okay. Okay, you should have you can put a policy, procedure, process, SOP, but you should have a governance methodology. Without doing governance, we cannot make sure that people are following what is the dashboard. Okay, you should have a level of governance. Okay, if operating model, okay, team lead should have a weekly meeting. That is one of governance. Then you have a leadership or bi-weekly, then CEO monthly. We should have that governance. Then they have to come with, they have what is the pain, what is the success, what is the failure. Then there is a decision should be taken. Without doing governance, we cannot achieve what is the process, whatever you put. You can put the standard technology, you can put, I said I put this process document, okay, do 1, 2, 3 checklist. Are you people are following? How we can control it until unless you don't have any governance mechanism? My main, what is your question? I will answer. Without governance, we cannot achieve anything. You can put whatever the document, the SOP, procedure, policy, but you should have a governance. Without governance, we cannot achieve. The
Yeah, I mean,
governance
I think
is key pillar. Communication
no,
governance is key pillar. Yeah.
correct. And I think it is said, like, so, I mean, I think the key is governance and then
Yeah.
adhering
Yes.
that, because like you can have 1,000 policies and documents.
Yes.
So like, I don't know, someone said like the plan remains plan unless it comes in action.
Yes.
So you can put it everything on the paper, but if people are not following, it is of no use. Like, so I think
Yes.
the governors keep a track of it, make sure that people are following. I mean, that's the key. Like,
Even
so,
Prasad, even the leadership also, they have to give the time for that subordinate meeting, right? If you not given time, he is doing his own business, we cannot achieve what we supposed to achieve the goal.
correct.
Should
So,
have for the governance meeting, which should be operation, okay, project and both. Governance means I'm talking both sector. Project should have a governance, which is how the project is going on. Operation to have operation, okay, how is the project? Is amber, green, red? You should have. Then maybe that IT head should have some decision, which is people are waiting. If you not given time, then what they will do? That should governance should be there. At any cost, he has to meet the people. You have to take what is control on his domain.
correct. And to drive that, I think you recommend that top to down approach. So involvement of like the CXOs, the CEOs,
Yes.
like at their level, when they can't simply just wash hands saying like, okay, I have given it to the managers, and then it will just work off their own. So
this will not
captain
work.
leading from the front.
I'm not asking to micromanagement. I'm asking to only governance. Okay,
Governance,
don't go on the transaction level. Okay, what you're doing, what is the update? I'm not asking to do that. Governance is a high level, which you have a monthly meeting with you all your direct reporting, get the update. If you have a decision, give the decision, move forward. Go for another business requirement. That is my recommendation.
That's good. Yeah. So like today's world, like digital landscape, like the security is critical.
Yeah.
How do you approach like developing a comprehensive security strategy across the multi-layered infrastructure?
Yeah. See, I think security, which is have a 3 layer of security, which is a standard, because I'm not talking about policy, I'm talking about operation. Okay, you should have a data security, system security, then end user security. Like, okay, such a way that because there are security principles right now, how to be designed. Okay, how main thing is how my endpoint security is there, make sure that. Okay, how we can just to implement, monitor it, control it on 3 layer: end user, system layer, data layer, and presentation layer, which is a 4 layer which you have to have all the places. I can say a lot of multiple technologies there. You can XDR, NDR, whatever the things is there should be monitored and controlled, which you have to make sure that compliance is there. Okay, I can say that, like I can give one example for patching. Okay, should be monitor and control it. If you're not monitoring, controlling, whatever the tool you put it on this will not help. You should have a layered approach, on 3 layer security should be on all the environment, not only banking. Any environment you go, you should have a 3 layer security. That I'll always recommend. Yeah.
Good. So like, so about like the stakeholder and the vendor management. So can you discuss like your approach, like managing the relationship with the business stakeholder and aligning that the IT service delivery with the business goal?
Yeah. See, the vendor management is very key, right? When you are engaging vendor, you should be defend the SLA. The SLA is very critical factor for vendor. Okay, without SLA, when definition, vendor contract no use. Okay, they will say that when you log a call, I'll come and support you, but your environment down. Okay, that is one thing. When you have a, that's called underpinning contract, right, with your vendor, you should have a proper SLA. That SLA should be aligned with your internal incident and problem management. What is the SLA you are given to your internal customer? You cannot give an SLA for your vendor for SLA for critical priority for 4 hours, which you have to give an internal 2 hours, which you cannot do that, right? Always vendor alignment should be restricted. You can give some leverage to your internal customer. This is the main thing. Then you should have a proper, I said, governance meeting with SLA, right? You different vendor, application vendor, infrastructure vendor, like if you have a given managed services, you should have a governance. Okay, you should have proper governance, how they are servicing, how I'm happy, what is the input. Then you should have a, like monthly meeting, what is the technology they're bringing, because Always I cannot ask my team to learn the technology, which vendor they have to come and give a presentation, which I have to put some KPI. Like in 3 months, once you have to bring any new technology, what is the market trend, which you have to give the workshop. This is also part of your vendor management. Should the vendor management do the governance, then you also can bring a new technology. Your team also will learn more technology, what are the latest technologies there. Then you should have a measure your SLA, how they are measuring. You should have penalty clauses. If they are not met your SLA, you have to catch the neck, right, for vendor. If they fail here, I say that boss, whatever you have good relation, but you supposed to do, this is a failure. Always you have to do that plus and minus. You cannot give always minus, you cannot give always plus. You should have a plus and minus mix with your vendor. That is the way you can control the vendor management. Otherwise, vendor will drive you.
Correct. And I think like the next question, like you partially like address, because like it's all about like how do you track vendors performance, particularly the managed service provider, and to ensure like their SLAs and the KPIs are consistently met.
That's the answer, right? I previously answered, which you should have a governance meeting. That's a monthly governance or weekly governance, which you should have layer approach, right? I said, right, which I given managed service means, because any organization, not only banking, right? Because I given end-to-end managed service, right? I should have a level of escalation, level of meeting, right? Technical lead should have a technical governance should be there. Section should be a section, then CX level. Then you can go to CEO level. Should have a governance, how they are performing on based on your operating model. Okay, that you have a clear SLA. Everywhere SLA is very, very clear. Without SLA, you cannot work with the vendor. Even not only I'm talking about hardware application support, even managed service. Managed services very, 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 very key is SLA and KPIs, which reporting and dashboard. These 4 things. SLA, KPI, reporting, dashboard. 4 is the main for managed services. With the 4 component, you cannot run the managed service. Otherwise, you will failure on this.
I mean, that's a good point. So you have, mentored teams like various projects. So what's your approach like to leadership and fostering high performance teams in stakeholder environment? How do you approach that?
For a team member, right, we should have, anyway, I'll give a delegate my activities. If any failure they'll come, I'll give us some recommendation, but I will not do the micromanagement on the team. Okay, I'll try to give the delegation authority to the team member, which you don't control yourself. That I'll always do that. Then only we can do that. Then I'll see that if you 1 failure, I can adjustable, 2 failure adjustable. If you come on 3 or 4, then I have to take some decision. I have to do that. Either I'll try to do some training or coaching session individually. Still, then I will replace it.
I think that's a good approach, because like it is always said, like delegate the power, delegate the authority, and make them accountable. So like people need like the authority, but then they don't want themselves to be accountable. Then pass the buck to somebody. But this is a good approach. So like give them the delegation and make them accountable. So then they are like up there. So that's good. So could you describe like a situation where you had to guide a team through a significant transition or technology shift, like where like you had to really guide them on this?
If anything comes new technology, I said, okay, one of the point which I put on vendor KPI, right? I'll always, even when I was running my team, right, when the new technology comes, new things comes, which I'll have a session with my vendor. Okay, vendor means like principal, not like HP means I'll bring HP, I'll bring Microsoft OEM. Okay, I'll bring them. Okay, I'll run workshop with my team member. Okay, then even if any event is there, I'll send my team to the outside the country and outside that workplace, which they have to give some full time, which we cannot. If I organize any event on my own working area, they will be disturbed. Okay, such a way that you have to send them, they learn. Then once I send them, I'll ask them to give, okay, what you learn from them. I ask them to give the presentation to remaining team member. I'm giving more transaction level. This is how I'll do that innovation technology to bring my team. Okay, then I'll ask him to give the presentation to remaining team member, which everybody should learn. Then as a team, which I will not take a own decision what technology to innovate my environment, which I as a team, okay. I'll take one decision, maybe my team will have a different ideas, right? I will collect all the ideas, then I take it to my management. This is the approach I will do that. But maximum I will put all my OEM as a KPI for Microsoft, either whoever, Microsoft, HP, Dell, I will have a 3 month session. That is my work style.
Oh, that's good because like it's OEM is their baby. They understand the
Yeah,
things better than anybody else.
yeah,
So
yeah, of
I
course,
mean that
because what are the
absolutely
land?
like makes sense. Yeah, I think so. I mean, a good point. So
Yeah.
what I mean with the rapid changes, like the technologies are changing rapidly. What are the emerging trends in IT infrastructure and digital transformation that really like the excites you the most? Like, yeah. Because it's evolving and it's just evolving at the speed.
Yeah, see, when I say that, for infrastructure digital transformation, when I say that new technology, okay, for and mainly for infrastructure phases, I think I can which you said, right, for the cloud, okay, which is people are coming with the cloud, which is different opportunities. Right now, I just one click I can bring that web services. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? I have to prepare that IaaS based server. I have to put a Tomcat. I have to install. I have to configure. Now, this is more excited because I am very happy that I can take a platform service immediately.
Mm.
Okay, this is which is more excited on me that cloud is more era for that moving forward. Okay,
Mm.
otherwise what will happen? Otherwise I have to ask my administrator, come and install, then it will take some time, then give some excuse. This is I can take some platform service, run a service in one click.
Mhm. Okay, good. So how
Yeah.
do you envision like the future of the IT infrastructure in banking?
Hmm.
And I mean, like as BFSI, particularly with cloud, AI, automation, because cloud, you talked about it, but now like the AI, Gen AI, automation coming in picture. So how do you see the future of
Yeah, I think
IT
in the future,
infrastructure in BFSI?
IT infrastructure, the AI and automation is based on data. As long as you have a data which is you can drive what you need it, right? If
Mm.
the data is not clear, then I cannot do anything. That is my view, which you have to make sure that the data is in correct place and a correct structure. What is the requirement which you can do that? That is mainly for AI. For automation, yes, that is a feature for human error involvement, which you can reduce it as long as you know the steps and process which automation help you, where you can throw the error which is instead of doing human mistake, which automation very help, which is I also did for some of the automation for my infrastructure, for my DR activity which I have done for. Otherwise I said DR, right, which is automation more advanced for helping the people who's that running on the ground, where they'll add value, which you can do that one click, we can do that, because as long as the one click you should know what I am clicking,
Mm.
right? That
Correct.
will help for automation. AI is as long as is there, which you can have the data which will give the value, which you can take a decision, we can bring the business, and you can get revenue and profit.
Yeah,
This
and
is
I
my
think
view.
it's a very key point. So because like
Yeah,
that's why I think it is the data is oil.
yeah,
So, so I mean, if you have the data, you have like the huge data, and then you can do the all the analysis, paralysis with the help of the AI, Gen AI, and as you rightly said, like having the like the things automated. I mean, reduce the error, the reduce the TAT, because
yeah.
like in BFSI, the TAT is
That
important.
is
There is a
very
window.
important. That's
Yeah,
why. Yeah,
there is a window. So you need to process the thing in that particular way. That's a mandate from the respective central bank. So I mean, it's a really the very valid and key point. So I mean, coming to the next thing is like I mean, you have received multiple award and you have been recognized throughout your career. So what personal qualities like the habits do you believe that have contributed your consistent high performance? What are
yeah,
like those special things about you that has helped you?
yeah. Because most of the time I will not take. I'll always look at listening method. I'll always listen most of the time. Okay, then I'll give some personal time to improve myself, which is I'll read sometimes with what is the technology comes. I'll try to do the networking with other competitor, not only my one bank, which I'll always have that link with the different bank, which I'll always do the networking. Like I'll try to go for event, I can capture the people, what they are using, how they are improving. The same thing I'll try to do that. Then plus I'll try to do, which I'll always, my team will help, because I can precise awards. I took 2-3 awards for storage and all, which is I have introduced in this bank for virtualized storage. None of them. Also, I bought, like I will take a challenge where even vendor also in Middle East, especially the UAE, none of the banking sector don't have a Hitachi storage. Not like India's big market, like Japan and all there, because Dubai, none of the bank don't have a Hitachi storage, which I take a challenge. Myself, my boss took a challenge. We are the reference for Hitachi for banking domain. Like I have to take a challenge. The challenge is you're taking, you have to take a risk. Then you will get the benefit. Two things, you have to take a challenge, risk, then you will get a benefit. If you're not ready to take a challenge, if you're not take a risk, then you will not get anything. Then you'll do that as is operational guy, do the day activities. This is the two things. Take a challenge, take a risk. Otherwise, nothing.
Yeah, man, it's a like the risk and reward, right?
Yeah, risk and reward. Sorry.
The one who risk and reward. Yeah. So like the one who takes the risk is rewarded much bigger. And the point you made here is like the networking, collaborating with the people, because like it is also like the sharing is all caring. I mean, you share two things with the people, then in bargain you also learn the two more things. So
yes, of course.
Each one like the two ideas richer. So I think, I mean, that's the mantra, I would say, like these days, like everyone. And then that's why like the events, number of the events have increased. Like earlier, like I mean, I remember 2 decades ago, like the people were not like the fuzzy about like the events, attending. It used to take, too much effort to get the very senior people in the room. Now, like, I mean, like you can see the CEO, the chairman, the MDs of the bank or the institutions, like they happily come, they attend the big events because they also want to upgrade themselves. They want to learn the things. So I think that networking, learning from each other, definitely, is a mantra for it. Like,
of course, that is the help. They help both sides.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like sharing is caring, as I said. Like, so could you please like advise like the upcoming IT professional, IT infrastructure, what they should be doing? I mean, what are like the do's and don'ts like you would recommend? Because because these days, I mean, the young kids, they are bright and all, but at times like with no experience and all. So what are like the do's or don'ts, like the suggestions you may want to give out of your 2+ decades of experience?
Now this is recent, right? For tickets, you have to don't stop learning. That is a very good. Even I am just even my ex-boss, now I put AA consultant role, which I'm going for certification, right? You cannot stop learning. One thing. Then try to do the practice. Practice means you cannot do that, let's like do the simulation. For young people, I'm saying that do the learning, do the simulation, implement and work environment. This is I can do that. If you stop learning, then you cannot grow. Then you'll be stagnant in the water, right? You have to be move forward. Okay, you move forward as you have to move forward on the race. If you stop, then you stop. You cannot move forward. That means what are the technologies comes, keep on learn, move forward, get the market, grow up. That will be my advice. Learning is very critical. If you stop learning, then very difficult to achieve your environment, achieve your goals.
I think that's definitely like a valid point. Like upgrading yourself. Like
yes.
I am fond of that Darwin thing. Like he used to say, like the species that survives are not like the most powerful one or not the most intelligent one. The species that survives, like they are most adaptable to the change. Because if things are so you need to adapt, number one, and to adapt that you need to learn. Yes. So if you don't learn, you will learn. And I think it's a really good point. So I think it
Learning is
was,
very critical. Even
yeah.
ages, even I'm still, I want to go AI to, because market is now, Dubai is everywhere AI. If you go anywhere, they'll talk about AI, because I said, what AI? Okay, let's do that. I'll also learning, which is, even I
Mm,
tie up with some company, yes, I would do that, because we cannot
mm,
survey in the market.
yeah. I mean, I
Otherwise, they'll say
think.
this is a old guy.
So like the saying is old is gold, because like you're not become old just because of the age, but I think
Yeah,
you're literally, I mean, with the kind of the knowledge like you accumulated, and that's why like the old is a gold. That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
it said. So good. So I think it was like wonderful talking to
I
you.
think,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think I answer. Maybe it will be satisfied you guys, because if you know, then I don't know, because whatever my experience, I answered it. I'm happy that I have done my job. Let's see.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that's why I said like it's always like the learning, as you said rightly.
Yeah,
So we learn from like the each other. So whenever like we are having this kind of like the conversation, so the whole intent is like this is like our initiatives, as I mentioned earlier also. So there is no commercial intent. There is nothing
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah.
really promote here. It's all about like the you kept saying like the sharing is caring, and then sharing
Yeah,
the knowledge, sharing the view of the people. Because like the books will teach certain thing, but like when it is like the on job and like some experience coming from the people like you, where they have done great and wonders in their life, and then I mean every like. I mean, suggestion or this kind of the
yeah,
experience does matter. And then our like the intent is to share that through the like the world, the BFSI industry, etc. So I really appreciate for your
yeah.
time.